Welcome and thank you for joining us this Sunday. Last week we began our series on the Sermon on the Mount with Matthew chapter 5 verse 3, which says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Our verse for today is Matthew chapter 5 verse 4, which says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. As I was studying this verse this week, I couldn't help but be compelled to share a memory with you. I had an indication that there was a God when I was young and growing up, and finally when I was 13, my father led me to the Lord using the 4 spiritual laws. What caught me when we were talking about the fact that Jesus Christ died for our sin and that we are sinners was that in John chapter 1 verse 12 it says, "For as many as received him, to them he gave power to become children of God, even to those who believe on his name." And in the tract it says that it tells you to say a prayer. Now, I've been in church many times and said many prayers and heard many prayers. I never knew anything was active in a prayer. It was something you did at church. So I remember specifically thinking to myself, okay, I'll say this prayer, but how does this do this activity of receiving Christ into my heart? And it was in that moment when I asked Jesus to come into my heart, something supernatural happened. Something that I cannot explain. It was as if the weight of the world had been lifted from me, and as if only thing I could see was pure white. It was an experience that wasn't something that I could put on camera. But then I knew that there was something about God that interacted with my physical body on a level of a spiritual nature. And this spiritual nature touches on what the kingdom of heaven is all about.